Good morning. It is Wednesday. I hope all is well with everybody. Lots of weather going on. Lots of things. I always say lots of things going on, but yet I sit here and do nothing. Now we got a lot on my plate coming up, so figured I'd step in here and we'll look at some low board stuff, and we'll actually check out some load ratios because that'll be interesting as well. A lot of reports talking about the doom and gloom, and a lot of the spot market is this, that, and the other, and that's true. It's all true, but it's always been true, right? So something to keep in mind if you're doing a business plan or you're thinking about buying a truck. Just buy a zero turn radius, big huge lawnmower, and not have any clients, not have any work. And that's an important part as well. So, is it raining in Joplin? Yeah, my sons get ready to drive out to Marshfield, so I told them to be careful because of the rain. Let's take a look at the radar. Let's see what's going on. Raining in North Missouri. Yeah, I've seen that. Huh. It won't let me do the radar. That's interesting. Here, yeah, that's weird. Let me click on this. There it goes. There we go. All right, let's do present share screen. And oh. There's your yeah, so it hasn't quite hit here yet. It's like it's a lot of these storms like to just travel right down 44. So yeah, Joplin's getting hammered. The Kansas City is getting hammered a little bit. Not too bad, but what you gonna do, right? Let's see. All right, let's get rid of that. All right, so let's do some comments here. I've got my Peterbilt mug here, which it's overpriced and barely work. I kid all you Peterbilt diehards, man. You just calm down. Stuart, good morning. Dennis Richardville, good morning. My name is Nobody, good morning. Desert Nothing Witty is in the house. Good morning, y'all. Rainy in Joplin says Old Pigtail, what's up? Truck for Fun, good morning. Rainy in northern Missouri. SST, what's up? I see you. David Edward, hard times make strong men. Absolutely. That's thing that you need to take away from this. So morning sitting at the dock in Monroe Township, New Jersey. Are you at Costco? I'm to Noble there all the time. And books from Jefferson City and deliver them. We had a whole bunch of rules, like you couldn't, like you had to drop your trailer and then they door for you, something like that. It was something of that nature. They didn't try. I don't blame them. CB morning from Miami. Well, you're nice and warm down there. Athens, Georgia. While my dry van is being loaded, I see 4 flatbeds in line for product to be loaded here. Mr. Charles, good morning. Pigtail, I drank the Snorelord mug. And that's cool. Thank you for mug. I tried, when I first started the whole keto thing, everybody's like, you got to get MCT. Oh, man, really? I've got enough fat on me. I don't need to add. But I found that it ate through the cup. Made it oily coffee. So a friend of mine suggests just heavy whipping cream if you want to add fat. But my accelerated fat loss came at a time when I didn't coffee. Because if you're an overweight fellow like myself, you don't really, once you've transitioned from fat, from carb fueled, you don't need to add any more. And so, but hey, if you'll, I've done the butter and coffee. I've done all the bulletproof whatever stuff. I just put heavy whipping cream if I want the fat, but for the most part, I drink my coffee black. Unfortunately, we've been weak men, hence our hard times. That is true. SST, a lot of, there's this all-out war on male role models, and the breakdown of traditional created the situations that we're in now. Schmitty, yep, I run a lot of Costco, the egg runs. I've never been to the Costco in Monroe Township. Never have. I know people on the CB trying to find the place, but CDN, good morning. Something, good morning all. Shannon, good morning everyone from Daytona Beach, Florida. Everybody's in Florida. Blizzard conditions in Flagstaff, Arizona. I-7 wind gusts of 70 miles per hour in Flagstaff. Rain, snow, and wind in the rest of the state. Yeah, I have down there who lives down there, and he was wanting to leave out of there, but it looks like he may not get out of there because of that weather. So we're probably going to hold off until Monday to get him out of there because of all that mess that's down there, and we'll go over that here. Morning, guys. Same disease as Nomadic Brits, going through the motions now to get back going. Getting a new engine or a different truck. I tried coconut oil in my coffee, my stomach, heavy cream for the win. There you go. 1 week back out on the, was expecting doom and gloom, but I have come to the conclusion it's all mindset. I'm hitting over 250 mile without any. So you're back. I have not been keeping up with your channel, Stuart. So I'm in the spot market. So are these longer runs? I mean, because it's on the area that you're in as well, because I know that out of Colorado, I was seeing stuff posted at 72 cents a mile, 92 cents a mile. And of course, you can call and get them up to $1.50 and it feels like a win. But the weather is playing, and so you might be able to get some good rates right now because of the weather, because of the weather and road conditions. So 060 pork chop, not me, Oakley, Kansas. Oakley, Kansas, one of the coldest spots in the U.S., but Minton's truck stop is cool. Dungeon or diagnosis is suggesting, man, that's a tough deal. Hopefully he had everything kind of set aside for it. Sometimes you can't, weren't able to put back money for maintenance because they overextended themselves when rates were good, bought cool stuff, and now now that money is not there. Stuart, pretty much between Nashville and Indy, back and forth. There you go. That's a good. Although Tennessee can be a struggle at times, I think Memphis sometimes can be a. I've done okay out of Nashville. Tennessee and Kentucky are kind of weird states. Like to get a truck out of Indy, I got a better rate out of Louisville. To get a better rate, sometimes I get a better rate out, and it just changes. So, but hey, if it's working, so let's do the weather first. And I know promote the 123 low board, but let's look at the data. Well, competitors, I consider them more just additional tools that you can get. All right, so here I've been teaching Pale Rider the way to share screen without the double monitor thing. Absolutely have myself prepared, even though I've only been on my own for 11 months. Excellent, Buck Brown. There you go. I'm finding keeping it somewhat short helps, especially with the Tennessee. And that is true. That is true. I've always believed in the short haul philosophy. But got to be in the right market to do that. So, all right. So here's the mess that is the weather in the United States of America, and pretty much anything above I-80 you're screwed. So there's that. Um, Texas, you've got red flag warning still, so it's pretty windy through here. I mean, they're talking like 65 to 90-mile-per-hour winds. So, so I-40 is going to be a bear. So, and old school, new school mentioned I-40 was shut down, 17 as well. So there. But cat wants out, even though he just came in through the front door. So, hold on. All right. Cat, right? He's YouTube famous. So, anyways, that's what's going on here. Now, check this out. I want to show you guys California here. There's actually a blizzard warning in Southern California. See if I can check that out. Right through here, there's a blizzard warning in Southern California, just north of Los Angeles. Just north of Burbank, so Santa Clara, Santa Barbara. Yeah. So that's how it's February, man. It's February. Now, granted, that may not be so they're talking about 2 to 3 inches of rain in the coast and valley. Above 6,000 feet. Check this out. Above 6,000 feet, they're expecting 3 to 5 feet, up to 7 feet of snow. At 4 to 6,000 feet, to 3 feet, 2,500 to 4,000, 6 to 12 inches, and then 1,025, 1 to 4 inches. Look at the mountain foothills, 55 to 75-mile-per-hour winds. And the coast and valleys are going to have 35 to 55-mile-per-hour winds. So yeah, California's all jacked up. I mean, it usually is, but so when you look at let's look at one of these wind alerts in Arizona. Actually, let's look at this one around Vegas. So the four corner regions are is just it's just going to be click on the watches and warnings advisories blizzard warning. Let's see if they got wind speeds up here. Heavy snow with winds gusting up to 75 per mile and zero visibility by Saturday night. 2 to 5 feet of total snow accumulation is likely above 4,000 feet. So, but yeah, that 75 per hour. So you've got some serious what going on. So just know that. Russell Freight, what's up? SST says cat. Golden Gate Bridge says Marnie gets snow above 5 years. Does that mean global warming is over? I'll have Dairy Queens in Southern California. I have no idea. Steve played my pet, but that kitty loves Snorelord. That's his cat. It is. Hopefully, it that's the positives of all this weather is going to help the drought situation, but it's the place that you really don't want to be right now is Minnesota. Minnesota is I mean, no one ever wants to be in North and South Dakota, but Minnesota, that's the place to not be right now. And then even a little piece here by the UP up there was where Wisconsin and UP meet. And then there's supposed to be a band of ice coming around across southern tip around Green Bay, Milwaukee, and then southern and the Michigan. So it's going to be a wild ride. So if you're down here going to go north, you can probably get a better rate. If you tell them that you're going into a snow blizzard Armageddon, and say, you know what, I'll go up there for the right money, and hopefully by the time you get up there, the storm is over. So that's where the forecast comes in. But this wind is hard to predict, and but if you can get a heavy load out there, now you're burning fuel and you're going against wind. Last time I ran out to Abilene, Texas, I was bobtailing because I was going to go pick up a trailer for Jeff, and I think I only got like 7 miles per gallon because of the wind. And then I had a headwind on the way back, and I was running empty, and I didn't get above 7 hardly. So, Steve plays. Oh, okay, I already read that. Hopefully, it helps with the drought out that way. Yep. And then pigtail DQ equals blizzards. Yep. Yep. So let's get the low boards up here. Let's go to DAT first. I want to show something here. Let's do this instead. Not a big fan of the new app. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more, but now everything you got to scroll. You can't just fit everything on one screen because that's the loads that I was calling on. Let's see here. Let's do up. So grab this. All right. Let's take a look at load ratios, shall we? All right. This is Vans. Let's look at numbers aren't okay. So the way these national load counts happen, this is strictly just for the DAT low board. It's so the great thing about this tool is seeing where the best load ratios are and recognizing your dead markets. And just know, I mean, just because, like, for example, Arizona's 681 going in and 282 loads coming out, just because it's lopsided like that doesn't mean that there's no freight. It just means that there's going to be the rates coming out are going to be lower. They're going to be pushed to be lower, and that also should tell you that you should be making your money going in. Same thing with Colorado. Arizona is more lopsided than Colorado. So a lot of people automatically look, if you've been around a minute, you automatically know that Florida, Colorado are, you know, backhaul markets. However, no, Arizona should be included in that list. And then on certain times of the year, depending on what the is doing, California is too. Look at California, 2,328 loads going in and only 952 coming out, less than half. And for some reason, they're not paying to go into California either. So what does that tell you? California is a crap show. Whereas Georgia is still a strong market, 1236 going in, 1653 coming out. And these numbers change. Like, we'll refresh this number will change. And if you pop it up later in the day, you'll see these numbers are way down. So this is updated in real time. Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana. Where you see the purple, that's the states you want to be. Look at Missouri, 433 coming in and 99 coming out. Minnesota's good. Ohio's not as lopsided as it usually is on the outbound. And Texas is pretty even, 2807 coming in, 2952 coming out. This doesn't account for intrastate loads. So that's for van. Let's look at what Reefer's doing. Now let's take a look at, let's take that out. Okay, let's take a look at what Arizona. So Arizona is not great for reefer either. 248 going in and 26 coming out. California is even worse. 1256 going in and only 392 coming out. Now produce season, that should change. Same thing with Arizona. Notice the numbers are a lot lower. So, but usually the numbers are about the same as far as the ratios. So that's something to keep an eye on. I don't and here's the thing with all these tools. I don't follow this like it's because I don't want to look, there's in my career where I've been like, okay, I'm going to get to Ohio because look at the load ratios. They're coming. I mean, they're strong. 18 1 2 3 is saying it's strong, but then I can't find a load out that meets my. So and it, or or something changed overnight. So you have to be prepared for any market at any time. So it's take these tools with a grain of salt. Just but it helps lanes. Jeremy Rice, this weather's crazy. David Edwards, do you think that a channel with prep? Well, absolutely. There's a ton of. Just type in hashtag trucking. You're gonna come up with. I mean, there's a ton of channels. I mean, you got a lot more views and that do a lot better than I do. So I'm on track for 10K this week in dry van. Excellent, good deal. Good morning. Did you get the email about that getting compromised and having to reset passwords? I don't remember getting an email, but I did the thing on the when I go to the homepage. It says you need to reset your. Too bad crap weather doesn't improve rates. I mean, it doesn't. It can make some improvements, but I mean, especially like hurricane, an extremely good paying load. You know, turn on the weather channel, see. But in my experience, there's what happens is the market gets disrupted, and so window if the brokers are using that, and pricing kind of gets changed a little bit because now you have and and it can also is like, let's say in Minneapolis there you lose power and the road is on days. Well, guess what? Now everything's backlogged 2 days, and a lot of trucks are avoiding going in there. So it can manipulate the market a little bit. Not see that we saw last year. It's not going to be that extreme. You'll find that you'll like, hey, I'll need X amount, and they're like, okay. You sit there and like, man, I should ask. It's kind of the extent of it that happens. In the 30 years of transportation, I've never seen things. Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing with the weather are the pileups. And I want to blame the car industry a little bit for that because everybody out in the wilderness, you know, ice and snow, and they're just driving like it's a Sunday drive down the street, and so think that they can run like that, and then this news, and David, if you're watching, heed this warning. When you go through CDL school, when a person goes through CDL school, you have to the drive. And if you approach driving a truck like you do, bad things are going to happen. You have to get rid of the four-wheeler mentality for it and how you drive each vehicle. And this is just an opinion. You might call me loony, whatever, but I think that putting automated transmission allows the mindset to go to car mode or to keep some of your bad car habits easier. Because I have a 10 speed and I use that gearing pull like a clover leaf. I'm in sixth gear on a clover leaf, and I don't even get above that. I get around of it, click it in the seventh, have my left turn signal on. If I can get out, and then gear up from there. Using the gearing to slow down. I slow down. My brakes last a long time on my vehicles because I'm the guy that instructed me in CDL school. He was a tanker driver, the driver with those, or else you're going to flip it. There was CDL school that he told me I took it too fast, and he told me that if I had been loaded, I would. And so that stuck with me, and so I click it from to six, and just go along that clover leaf, man. It depends on the clover leaf as well. Those Oklahoma clover leaves, they kind of sneak up on you. And so the automated transmissions, I think, makes the new breed drivers that with you know partnered with the fact standards are lower, training standards are lower, that are desperate to put any meat in the seat. They give you a road test, and off you go. Weather equals 10 to rejections, right? Yep, that is true. Boom. Always enjoying watching your lives while sitting in the grocery warehouse. Probably do a lot of that, don't you? Fate Trucking, thanks for coming in. Stuart, that DAT password has to be 15 characters. My brokerage emailed us yesterday to confirm it was legit. If you pay him today, you will be locked out. Oh, okay. I better get on the ball then. Las Vegas southbound looks like it is closed. Does not surprise. David Edwards, I agree. I've had many defensive driving classes in the fire service. The dean says, place a cup of coffee on the dash, and Dredd did that. I think it's called driving school or something. Drivers. It was an '80s movie. But yeah, that's. I mean, kind of hard to do in a truck, but yeah, that's true. Marty says Freight Waves is only getting 2 or 3 views a video. Freight Waves isn't popular, Marty. Um, it's got some great information, but their live streams, there might be like maybe 15 people watching, and there's a lot of filler stuff that a lot of people don't care about, or they think it doesn't pertain to them. That's the thing. Realize that the majority of truck drive owner operators aren't in the spot market. Minor lease guy, you're probably not watching Freight Waves. If you're a prime lease guy, you're probably not watching driver for Swift. You're probably not watching Freight Waves because that stuff doesn't pertain to you. There's little snippets like when it talks about import volumes, economic markers, but because most people, that's the thing. If you want to be an owner, then you need to absorb yourself in the industry. You need to learn. Boring to you, it's something that you're gonna have to learn, because the more knowledge, the more the more knowledge you come in with, the your chances of making it are. Because there is a huge operators that might last three years. And hell, the majority of people's trucking careers in general, that's why turnover's so high. So, but Waves has some valuable information, but at the same time, it's not. They don't, and it's a broadcast, so they don't address any live questions. Now, DAT trend lines, they do a live feed every Wednesday and issues, but it's interesting to see what people. There was somebody commenting how brokers were the trucking industry, um, in Freight Waves' live feed. So it's all about mindset. So do I take that stuff as Bible? But it can be handy information, and a lot of it's reflective, like Kansas City this week. And then Freight Waves will go, oh, hey, by the way, Kansas City is one of the best markets. You don't say. So, and for someone, and that's just on my, or like deeper into the transportation industry, buddy in this chat, they really pay attention to that stuff because it does pertain to them. You know, Schneider knew that the AB5 thing happened before it happened. They prepared themselves for it. Schneider prepared the trailer shortage that was going to happen. Of pencil pushers that their job is to predict, adapt, and overcome. And 3 steps ahead of anybody else. Has a click and go load board system that surpasses any of these other do a click and go load board system. And they have one of the biggest so because they pay attention to they probably create a lot of the information that Freight Waves and Sonar use. Vehicles are much lighter now for fuel economy too. Weather has a greater effect on that's. I never thought of that, but that's true. A 2023 680 is going to be a lot lighter than a 1990 Freightliner FLD. Stuart, too much doom and gloom at Freight Waves, but likes those put there. It's only see that as doom and gloom. I mean, there have been times where they said get out of the spot market, but they've also been saying that when the spot gets cheap, guess what? They're going to go to the spot because it's cheaper to run that than their contract. So they've mentioned that, but I mean, you just my so what I do is if I've missed a live feed, I'll cherry pick to the carrier up, and that's about it. But there's almost too much because there's a corporate narrative there too, and that's the part that you got to be. The corporate narrative will try to put a positive. Got to be aware that it may or may not be based out of reality. So, who's his daddy? What are you talking about? Your thoughts on the Freight Waves article I emailed yesterday about 1/3 of owner operators will go out of business. I the read I got interrupted, but I got the gist of it. Because Freight the It it's being just by saying by the end of the year, I think that there's a large percentage of owner operated next 6 months. And so giving them a year before they call it quits is so that's just my opinion. And it kind of needs to happen because look at what happened with flatbed capacity. Like there was like a bunch of trucks that came into the flatbed market, and there was a 75 in freight in the flatbed market. So you had this of increased trucks and decreased volumes. That's why the rates are so low right now of that very thing. And so here's the good news, right? We're not being doomed. As more trucks call it a day, they're out, and shippers can save money by putting it out on the spot market. So that will increase load volumes a little bit. That should not alleviate, but that should help the situation that we're all in. So this happens every too many trucks, rates go down, not enough to go up. People blame fingers. Oh, you're the one hauling the reason why everything's a buck a mile. Blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, brokerage freight volume, and so I don't think that the guys that a lot of the owner operators that were sloppy in the last year going to make it. So there's so yeah, that's my thoughts. It sucks to say that the people that own trucks that probably shouldn't own trucks. Uh, agrees with me. Hey, plays on freeway. That's a funny name. What's up, Ken? How's it going? Laura Snores, lowest week thus far, 3,600 for the week. Didn't leave the state though, so at least I didn't burn much fuel. Now compare your net to other weeks and see what that looked like. A lot of good use statement, owner operator retiring, right? Freaking magnet, isn't he? Yeah, but I mean, look, information is information. Definitely going to be a lot of owner ops retiring, right? And some, I'm not one of them. Yeah, good deal, man. Good deal, Kevin. Well, so let's look at the 1, 2, 3. Um, let's see. Let's do load availability. Let's do this for reefer. So there's your reefer states. The low rate ticket shock will rattle and remove the owner operator that need to move on. It wasn't that long ago when a buck 80 was a fair rate on dry van. That is true. I mean, I remember the spot getting down to a buck 60, I think, on the average rates on the Deptford, and said this over and over, but I'll say it one more time because that's what us YouTube channels do. We say things repeatedly and redundantly. But here's the thing: when we were all enjoying those high rates, and guys were getting $10,000 to $15,000 a week, regardless of their platform, I knew that on the other side of it, it was going to be bad because tolls would go up, fuel would go up, repair labor would go up, parts would go up, and all I had to do was use the word shortage, and everything just tripled in price. Trucks were literally tripled in price, used ones. It's kind of it's kind of like why if they made minimum wage $15 an hour, what would happen to everything else? So that's what. So when we were getting insane rates, like $5 a mile on something that normally paid 225, I knew that things were gonna come to a head at some point. How about Springfield, Missouri dry van 225? Well, let's take a look at that. Springfield, 50-mile radius. You want to go to Brooklyn? Probably not. Let's do. Do you want like all the local stuff, or you just in general? Let's just do in general. Let's do anywhere, and for the Saturday, yeah, good luck. Let's see. Search. You don't want to go to Brooklyn? Looks like Joplin and Hutchins. That'd be probably paper. Um, Decatur, Arkansas, the Chippewa Falls. It's gonna be. Let's take a look at one. It's only 25,000 pounds, so by then that weather should all be cleared. Get up there for pick that up Saturday. Deliver Sunday. How many miles is that? No, deliver that, and then deliver that Monday, I guess, and then Monday you'd be in a prime position. And if that happens, Don, let's say you do that. If you go up to Wisconsin, let me know. I've got some for there. Here's your Maida to Holland, Michigan. Let's see, Amsterdam, New York. You don't want to do that. So not much on to say. These are all old postings too. Let's do you can do it. You can filter it by age. So Maida to Vandalia, that'd be a good one. I'm not familiar with Sunset. I mean, I've seen them all the time, but I've never done a load with them. Um, they're approved, so for Thunder, decent credit score, so that's good. Um, that'd be a good one. Vandalia, then grab something out of P&G out of Vandalia. Usually they got those going to Ardmore. $1.80 isn't worth $1.80 more inflation. I agree with that. Survivor survived. It's just that simple. It is. Trample the weak, hurdle the dead, says SSD. Um, I would if they pay enough. I haven't seen anyone pay enough for me to get it though. Sage says we don't care about YouTube. They have their own media, and that's true. Freight does. The fact that they look, they recognize that they have to have some social media presence. I mean, as much as I dog TikTok, if I owned a business that like retail or something, TikTok would be the one of the best ways to get people get out there. And that's the world we live in. But Freight Waves, they're on YouTube, I think they're on Facebook, and they're on LinkedIn, and yeah, they could care less what their numbers are on YouTube. I spoke about that. They have their own website. They have a lot of things going on. There are options, it appears, for Saturday at least. Yeah, and I would call those now. Meta. I mean, this. Meta is going to be a Saturday resource. Edgerton, Kansas is going to be a Saturday resource. Um, Joplin is going to be a Saturday resource. So depending on how much you drive, I mean that there's shippers in Joplin. There's the dog food and the protein shakes that ship on Saturdays. Um, I don't know anybody in Springfield that actually ships on Saturday, unless it's paper. But well, I take that back. Maybe I don't know if French's does or not. It's been so long. That's only 150-mile radius. If I expand it to 200, you're going to get Kansas City in there. And so Lawrence has some options. Um, so but dog food, beverages, um, tend to ship 24/7. So let's take a look at Van. Actually, yeah, I had I have Reefer up or Van before. We'll do Van. Yeah, I had Reefer up before. So Arkansas is softening up a little bit. Let's take a look at Arkansas. Actually, no, let's take that back. Let's go to Missouri. A lot of Meta. So Sunset obviously has a lot of the Meta Missouri stuff. Jeez. You ever figure out that you've subscribed to way too many YouTube channels and your notifications go nuts? Unbelievable. I need to calm that down, I guess. Alan Lund's got Kansas City. Axel's got Brand. This is going to be charcoal. That's the other thing. Look for charcoal. Don, you've got charcoal that comes out of Brandon, Rolla, West Plains. It's going to be heavy, but I've never been overweight with one of their loads. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get into, but only because of the hills. So, Let's take a look at step deck and flatbed. A lot more yellow, but not too bad. Let's take a look at Texas. Mercer's got a load out of Laredo, man. It's 266 a mile. Recreational vehicles. No fee for fast pay, so that's good. If you don't factor. Um, here we go. Waco to Wheeling, Illinois. Mercer again. They don't have a rate posted. Air conditioning units. Those usually pay pretty good. I've done those in van. So there's a little bit. Maryland seems to be the bed state in the Northeast. A lot of it's short stuff, looks like. Yeah, it's all short. Here we go. Here's a longer one down to Texas. $1.45 a mile. But here's the thing: it's Maryland, New Jersey, Maryland, all the Northeast. Man, it's tough coming out rate wise. There's another one, Baltimore to Edinburgh, Texas. They're at $1.58 a mile. Freight Lane Solutions, which I believe they're good. Yep. So will you look up rate for RGN Florida to Kentucky? I'm going to buy a side boom Sesame, Florida to Prestonburg, Kentucky. Let's see. I could do that, but I don't think anything's going to up. I might be surprised though. Um let's do Orlando. Actually, or we'll do it this way. Load availability, density map. This is a quick way to do this. So let's go to trailer type. RGN, apply. All right, so let's take a look at Florida here. There's a few. Here's one. 18,500 to go all the way to Nevada. As far as going to Kentucky, I don't know. Now, a person might think, wow, 18,500 is a lot of money. Well, what permits do you need? Do you need a escort? Do you need a or pilot car, I guess? Do you need what's the routing? What schedule? How long does it take to do that run? There's a lot of factors involved that see. So here's one going to Jacksonville, from Jacksonville to Chattanooga. That's not quite Kentucky, but and it won't give you averages on this because there's just not enough of this freight on this low board. So it's not going to give you any averages on this. Oh, here we go. Oh no, I thought I saw Kentucky. That's it. There's only a handful of loads. So, but that's your RGN green states. So, see, it's really numbers. You know, I know somebody that tried to do the RGN on the spot market on his own, and it was I think it was a nightmare for him. That's where it might be better to be signed on with a company that does that kind of stuff. The unfortunate reality is that some industries have certain guests on their platform. They look at your Instagram follower numbers to open the door to you or not. That's true. Um, I should find out more on the dedicated run today or tomorrow. The broker said they haven't got the schedule for next week yet. Probably a round trip load at least. Hey, Snorelord, what's up? Fran. To know weight, height, width, and make model. Yeah, you need to know all that stuff. So, and that's about all I know. Sage out, can't talk to when it comes to RGN freight. So, but anyways, guys, Seven, I see you in here. Good to see you. So, anyways, buddy, enjoyed the show today. I don't know if I've helped you at all. If not, I narcissism of me, you know, being on film. On film. Anyways, I hope everyone does well. Be safe out there if you're driving in all that crappy weather. Be careful. You're the captain of your own ship. And peace.